Welcome back to The Explainer. So, look, in today's fast-paced, constantly shifting world, your absolute most critical responsibility as a leader is decision-making, right? And now AI gives us access to unprecedented insights and analysis. It's a real game changer. But it begs a huge question. How do we actually combine all this powerful technology with real human judgment?
Okay, let's dive into this. It's a super common myth that having unprecedented access to information automatically guarantees better outcomes. We kind of just naturally assume that pouring more data into the mix will magically present us with the exact right choice. But as you're going to see, that simply isn't true.
So here's our roadmap for unpacking this. First, we'll look at the decision-making revolution. Then, why data doesn't make decisions, and how to avoid the information overload trap. Next, we're covering why human judgment matters, using AI as decision support. And finally, asking better questions. Let's get to it. Section 1, the decision-making revolution. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of what we're talking about. AI gives leaders access to information at a speed and volume that's just unprecedented. We're talking about instantly analyzing customer behavior, parsing incredibly complex market trends, tracking operational performance, and digesting vast amounts of financial data. I mean, you literally have more visibility right now than at any point in history. The real challenge, though, it's knowing how to actually use it all.
Which brings us to Section 2. Data doesn't make decisions.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core tension here. As our businesses become so highly data-driven, this really dangerous assumption creeps in, right? We start thinking that dashboards can just replace judgment. But let's be clear, data only provides insight. It just tells you what is happening right now. Leadership provides the interpretation. That crucial leap from knowing what is happening to deciding what we should actually do about it, well, that is where true leadership is forged. Section 3, the information overload trap. So think about this for a second. Can having too much information actually become a problem? Honestly, if you've ever stared at a dozen open dashboards on your monitor and felt entirely, completely stuck, you already know the answer. We've all been there. More data absolutely does not automatically equal better outcomes. In fact, it often leads straight to analysis paralysis. When you're just drowning in data points, the sheer volume clouds your vision. It makes it harder to choose, not easier. The takeaway here is absolutely critical for us. Modern leaders desperately need clarity. They don't just need an endless stream of information. Section 4, why human judgment matters. Because if data alone just leads to paralysis, we have to ask what's missing. Well, business decisions almost always involve a huge element of uncertainty. You are never going to have a perfectly clear, 100% guaranteed picture of the future. It's just not possible. And that's exactly why leadership has to step into that gap of uncertainty, relying on things like deep context, your lived experience, and your organization's core values. Let's move to and see how this builds, because there are heavy, unmeasurable human factors that AI simply cannot process. We're talking about relationships, company culture, timing, assessing true risk, and weighing long-term consequences. I mean, an AI cannot manage a really delicate client relationship for you, and it definitely can't feel the pulse of your team's morale. AI supports the process, sure, but human leadership fills the gaps. Moving on to Section 5, AI as decision support. So how do the most effective leaders actually use this technology? Well, they use AI as a decision support system in 4 very distinct ways. They use it to gather massive amounts of information quickly, to identify hidden trends you never spot manually, to explore different scenarios and model outcomes, and basically to just improve overall visibility. It is a phenomenal exploration tool. But notice, nowhere in this process is the AI making the final call. That's because final decisions must always remain perfectly aligned with your strategy and your organizational goals. Technology is there to inform your decisions, yes, but you as the leader must take that visibility and use it to actively steer the ship toward those strategic goals. And finally, Section 6, asking better questions. Ultimately, making smarter decisions requires combining a whole mix of elements. Data, insight, judgment, context, and strategic thinking. It's the whole shebang. Technology massively improves your visibility, but leadership creates the direction. And the absolute most resilient organizations out there, they are the ones that successfully merge both. So the crucial point is perfectly captured by this core insight from our research. AI can provide intelligence, but leadership provides wisdom. I love that. Intelligence is knowing the data, right? But wisdom is knowing exactly what to do with it in the messy, human, real world. Which leaves us with this. Are you asking AI for answers, or are you using it to explore possibilities? The quality of your leadership is so often going to depend on the quality of the questions you're willing to ask. Use AI to widen your perspective, for sure, but trust your human wisdom to make the final call. This explainer was presented by Global AI Group. Keep exploring and keep asking great questions.